Every time that I start a new job, I feel like they have very high expectations of me because I start by showing my best, and then I slowly like I chill a little bit, right? Because at the beginning you have to show that you're very good, and then you chill. And I feel like every time I have the anxiety because I feel like I'm letting them down. What is the good thing? Should I always like be 120%, or should I not be 120% at the very beginning? But I want to show 120% because I want to show them like what's my maximum I can do like at that moment. But then I'm not gonna work 120% all the time. If a company pays me 1,000 euros, it no matter how much I work, I'll still be earning 1,000 euros. Is it worth it working 120%, coming back home tired and not being approved by the company and not having issues? If a company already tells me that there is no prospects of like making me grow, there's no perspective, and especially they don't sign the fact that there's perspective, because if they say it, oh sure, if we see you improving, we could maybe possibly give you a raise. That's not enough. I've learned that. I've been busting my ass off for a previous company. I've been busting my day off, refusing some opportunities for myself, and then I was like, okay, I did so well last year. Can I get a raise? Not really. What do you mean not really? You said that if I worked well, you could have, right? I was like, all right, it's on me for not having that written down, but at the same time, you're a piece of shit. I heard once that the secret of success is to do what you love, but talk someone into paying you for it. Yeah. 35, 45 are the most powerful years, combination of experience and enough money. I should do great things. I am honestly, like at the very beginning, I was like, oh, when I'm 30, my life is gonna be done. But like right now, I'm getting it closer to my 30s, very closer. And I'm like, I enjoy this. 30, you're not old yet, but you have the money that you didn't have in your 20s, right? So 20s, I feel like 20s are a lot for learning. You know, like you test and try stuff in your 20s. Most of the times you have the safety net. And when you're 30, most of the time, usually on average, you have a bit more money than when you were like a broke student, right? And you can afford to do more things. And I'm loving this period. In uni, the bachelor that I got was in languages for international business. Let me tell you all my academic career. So I finished high school with like a decent grade. It was like 80 out of 100, which is in Italy is like it's like a good grade. It's like not a top tier grade. It was like average grade, nothing much. And I finished high school and I already got into engineering school, and I did 1 year like straight away. Like I finished, I started engineering. I tried to enter into the academic of art of drama, but anyway, I didn't get in, of course. I went to do engineering. I did 1 semester. I talked to someone that already was doing that job, and then I realized this is not for me. I loved the subjects. I didn't like the final job that I was going to do, so I quit it. I worked for a full summer. I worked until I got to September. So like for a semester I worked as a shop assistant, and I got to learn the work ethic, and I got to learn what does it mean to be a shop assistant or to be doing a job like that. I was like, this is also not for me. Like, or at least if I'm getting a job, I don't want to be like at the lowest level. I need to be a team manager, because these people are not good team managers and I hate them, and I'm feeling miserable and I hate them all. I need to learn. I need to have a degree so like I can get already a higher position, and I want to learn more about this. But what do I do? What is something that I like? It's like, what is something that I've been doing for good for the past years and that I feel confident with? And I realized that it was like mostly learning languages. All the time I was always trying to learn languages. I was like very good in English already, but it was like kind of natural. I didn't care about making a fool out of myself and showing like how I didn't know stuff in that specific language. And then I decided, like, you know what? There is this course that is languages for international business. I want to do business. I like languages. Let's put it together. I looked at the courses and it had like a lot of things together. I studied law because of it. I studied economy because of it. And I was like, this is perfect. I'm not extremely sure I want to do, so there's no point in doing something very specific, right? From the very first time when I started uni, I was like, you know what? If I'm doing this, I want to do it like with a purpose. What purpose do I want to have? I want to go abroad. What do I have to go abroad? I have to have these grades. I looked and I tried my best to get those grades. Look at the vibe. Oh, the dancing. Wow. They're good vibe. What's the name? Spinning wheels. Did your mom ever got onto you when you would receive a 5 or 6? Oh, all the time. I did high school, passing the grades. Honestly, in high school, I was just getting like, in Italy we get grades from 0 to 10. 0 is kind of like not that common. But if you get a 5, you didn't pass. If you get a 6, you pass. In high school, I was always like getting a 6. You know, I was ending like with an average of 6 all the time. Like I was maybe getting
a first exam, a first test, I was getting 5. So the other one, I had to take a 7. Like I was studying hard so I could get a 7. So I never like experienced what I really liked. I never did like cool things. I was trying things out. I did like robotics when I was in high school a little bit, but not that much because we didn't have funds. I did it for like a month, so then it stopped it. I didn't get to actually experience when I was in high school. Then I decided I'm gonna do this one that has a lot of opportunities, a lot of things. Let's try it. I was getting scolded by my time all the time when I was in high school. We had such a bad relationship when I was in high school because we would fight all the time because I was not putting effort and I was lying to her and I was hiding my grades and because I just didn't care. It was not passionate at all. But anyway, when I started uni, the uni that I did was honestly pretty simple. I'm gonna be honest, it was simple. It's not because I'm smart or I'm like, oh my god, I'm a genius. So it was simple. No. It was really simple to the point that when I got graduated, there were so many people like with me that got announced with 100% with the cum laude, we say. So it's like ad honorem. There were so many other people that got same grade as mine. Since I knew that the uni was pretty easy, what I did is like, let's find something that entertains me. First of all, I found an association that could send me abroad for cheap because I was like, I'm not learning anything. Like I'm not learning the language at all. My language is too basic. I was studying Chinese, right? I want to be better. If you go, for example, with EF to do like a month abroad, you have to spend like 3,000 euros at least, plus the flight, plus other things. In this case, I was paying like 350 euros, I think, for like a month and a half, 6 weeks. And they were covering most lunches, most my staying, and the old organization was covered. I just had to teach kids English and I was spending 1 month and a half abroad. And I joined this association. I had so much fun. I loved it. I was really enjoying it. It was one of the best summer I could have ever had. I got to experience Taiwan for the first time. God, this country is insane. So I came back home and I was like, okay, I got my purpose. Now I have to get good grades so then I can choose to go to Taiwan. Not only I will be able to go abroad, but I also will be able to choose where I want to go, and where I want to go is Taiwan. I got BFF with a teacher. Like the teacher loved me to the point that her exam, I didn't do it with the other people. My exam, it was me, Cami, and other 2 people from our course that we were like just talking to her about like Game of Thrones. That was our exam, 30 with the ad honorem, and then she was also the woman that helped me with my thesis. And then I was also going to like the professor whenever I was not understanding anything. I was going to the professor asking questions like why, because then when you go to the exam, especially if it's oral, you go to the exam, teacher sees you and you're like the person that was going there to ask questions, like, oh, they're trying, like if they're here they tried, right? I also have the rule of sitting always first or second row at uni. Why Game of Thrones? Because she was talking about like I don't remember what it was, like she was like English literature, so we talked about like the uncanny, which I love that exam about uncanny. It was so good. No, the uncanny was another exam, but for another one I had to study like Game of Thrones and like because it was like about the Scottish or British aesthetic something. I don't remember anymore at all. The only time that I cheated an exam in uni was like for a very stupid exam. You know, one of those that has like 3 ECTS. After I came back from Taiwan, I also joined the association that sent me abroad because I really loved it. And when I was there, I found my purpose. We were learning business models. We were learning about marketing. We were learning about sales. We were learning about making a team leadership. I found my purpose for that period, which was like learning about this in a good way with people around, while making a team of people interested in like making the world a better place. Very cringe, but same time true. After that, I went to Taiwan for a year because I finally, third year arrived. Finally, I got to achieve the highest scores I could in my course, and I got to choose where I wanted to go, and I was able to choose Taiwan. Anyway, I did that year. I came back to Italy, and I was like, okay, I graduated. Let's start a work. Let's start a job. I found a job in a multinational, account key manager assistant. I hated it. Not only I hated the job, but I hated the place where I was. And I thought it was a problem of the multinational, of that one. So I did like 1 year working in this company as an intern. I did those 3 months and they were like, you know what, we're gonna have you again for other 3 months as an intern. And I was like, consider they were paying me 500 euros and 500 euros. I did a lot of like interviews, right, to get an internship. And in Italy, internships don't pay. They, like among all the interns that I interviewed for, only that one was paying and they were paying 500 euros. And consider that I was a key account manager assistant, so I knew how much money the company was getting because I knew when it was good month, a bad month, and I knew that we were doing good. I spent the last month of the internship looking for jobs in Taiwan. I found the first opportunity as an English teacher, which is the basic thing you can find when you go to Taiwan. I left and I went to Taiwan, and with the money that I was doing by being a teacher, I was like paying myself the rent and I was paying my Chinese classes. Been in Taiwan for like a year, and then while I was there, I was like, I need to figure out what am I gonna do with my future, because Italian company, no. Small shop, no. So I need to go bigger. What do I like? I like languages, I like business, and I like computers. So I started a master in data science and digital marketing. Data science digital marketing in France, so I could speak English all the time. And I did those 2 years where I was learning more and more and getting to know more things. And like I got into a multinational, and then I got Italy, the best country to get a job. Surely myself. Surely. Not for now. Not for now. So then I started my master degree. I went away for a year. I was like, okay, France is not my country. I spent 1 year in Paris, 1 year in Grenoble. I'm gonna be working for this big multinational, which is Schneider Electric. And I was like, it's a big multinational, it's American. There's not gonna be again those high school kind of vibe. I was like, okay, working in an office might not be for me. I love all of this, but working in a multinational where I have to do PowerPoints all the time, and then I work on a project for 6 months, and then they don't approve it, so we have to go back and start all over again, and it just get trashed. I hate it. I was like, my job is useless. I don't like it. I don't have creativity. My creativity is destroyed. I don't want it. I'm done. I remember the last time that I talked to them too, I was talking to my new boss. He was like, oh, yeah, no, actually, we're not gonna be able to give you the position that we told you we were going to give, which is when I realized you always have to have emails where they tell you what kind of job they're gonna give you after. Always have it written down. When they tell you, oh yeah, then you have the prospect of becoming this and this, have it written down and make clear KPIs. Tell them, okay, how much do I have to bring to the company in order to achieve that? What are the results that will make me get that promotion? Have it written down. In the meantime, I got a job offer from a startup, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try a startup. And I realized that startup is my word. I like startups because I felt as I felt when I was back in my uni, working with the association with the students, where I was managing everything. And it was stressful, but I loved it because we were achieving things. At the same time, I started doing streaming, and this for me is the best because I leave this as a startup. I have my mods as my team, I have my editors as my team, I have the business plan, like what do we do next, where are we going, what do we do I like it, do I not like it, what's my future, and I love it. Then I started also working for this other company. At the meantime, I was like, okay, I'm doing good with my streaming, I want to do more. Let's manage also other people for another company. I joined this company and I started managing talents and all of that, and I loved it. There were some issues with the company. I'm scared of saying things because they're very much willing to bring people to court, so I'm not gonna say anything. Remember, if you have a job right now and you don't like it, don't feel bad about looking for another one, and do the bare minimum on that job. The bare minimum to not get fired. If you didn't know, if you didn't realize, it's something that it was boiling inside of me. It was really boiling inside of me.